got you pull out your secondary leash, and this is where safety comes in. First of all, you've introduced yourself, so they already know that Ken has arrived, and you're already starting to brand yourself. Be the brand as the third term. Ken, the Wag dog walker. You go there, you give them your Wag card, and on the bottom, I have my information on there. You know, Ken, and this is my promo code, and I give it to them. And I say, I'm Ken with Wags. I do a proper introduction, not, hey, I'm here to walk your dog. I say, this is Ken. I'm with Wags Dog Walking Service. I'm here to walk Bully, or I'm here to walk Barlow. I'm here to walk your dog, not just I'm here to walk a dog. And then the other piece of advice that I tell you is the other two things is one, God, you guys are going to hate this, is get the damn earphones out. Okay, and put the radio away, or put the Walkman away, or put the phone away. Guys, you're here to work, not listen to music. And I know you can walk around the neighborhood, but this is a safety issue. Wearing those headphones and being distracted from your environment is a recipe for disaster, and this is why. Being safe. Dogs are in tune with the walker. And they know when you're paying attention and when you're not. And they always know that mom and dad are walking around with their earphones or talking on the cell phone or doing whatever they want to do. And then, lo and behold, the dog gets into dog fights or lunges towards a car in the street, and you could have yourself a potential incident, which we want to avoid. We want the walk to be safe. And I don't care who you're working for, Rover or any of the other ones, or you work for yourself or you're a dog trainer. It's all about the safety and the security of the animal that you're working with. The second thing I do is I always put on my own leash. I take the customer's supplied equipment, but I put on my own leash. And sometimes I can just use a simple leather collar, a leather leash like this. This is a walking leash. It's multifaceted. So, you know, their equipment that they're going to hand you isn't always going to be in the best shape. And basically, you're walking out the door with the dog. You don't know how to control. The dog doesn't know you, so you do not have the same, you're not on the same wavelength. And so always having the second leash is going to save your derriere in the back. And these are very cheap, guys. This is a slip lead. It's probably $8 online at Amazon. It's called a Mendota slip lead. Now, look at the color. You can get them in a bunch of different colors, but this always goes back to that, be the brand. Okay, rep the brand, guys. They're paying you, but keep it all together. It adds to professionalism. So then I go out on my walk with my vest on, looking like a wayward lost gardener, and all my swag on, and you stand out. You're supposed to stand out. So when people are slowing down and they're looking at this guy and they see you walking a dog, and moreover, they see the dog walking at a nice heel, under control, and the dog is happy and you're focused on the dog, they tend to wave and smile. And it's that little jolt of happiness that goes through the person's brain. So they smile, and you know what? That's just a little extra reward. That's a little extra reward you can provide the neighborhood and the environment. A little positivity goes a long way, man, in referrals and all sorts of stuff. Trust me on this. But at the same time, I'm ready to take my photo of the dog. I pull out my phone, and you have to sit down and get a photo of you, the dog, the swag, the picture of the shirt and the little bandana. But right before I do that, and then the dog's walking nice, I take a video, just a live selfie video, and there's access on the app that you can do this too. But use this tool and just say, hey guys, or this is Ken, I'm walking with Barlow, and we're having a great time. I just wanted to say, hey, thanks for the opportunity. It's a beautiful day out, and Barlow's having a great time. Thanks a lot. Click a 30-second video, and then lo and behold, you get a text back saying, wow, I could never get my dog to walk that way. So by the time you get back to the house, you've done two things. You've impressed the customer, and you've impressed upon the customer that you showed up professionally on time. You did your service. You put the miles on. People are paying you for miles. They're not paying you to just sit there at a park and let the dog, on a flexi lead go around, poop, pee, and just stand there. They're watching that app. Don't think they're not. They're watching that thing like a hawk. And they're seeing how many miles you put on. And then lo and behold, all of that adds into whether A, they choose to use the service again, or B, how much is going to be your tip. So you can make more money other than the base fee if you just put a little effort into it. And let's put it this way, if you're already on the walk, it doesn't take much more to do these extra tips, to put $5 structured at your side and have no problems. I got tons of videos of it, so you want to see it, I can show it to you. It's not that big of a deal. And then if you are a dog trainer or you provide some sort of pet service, maybe you do dog transportation or whatever else it is you do, cat sitting, things like that. All that can be done through Wag. And so, as far as the walker side of it, being the dog walker, not the customer, I've learned this lesson real quick. There's two types of people that use this service. Those who can't walk their dogs and those that are just too freaking lazy to walk their dogs. And what you're going to find is that the majority of the people, I'd say it's good 60-40 split. You may not like to hear that, but I've had plenty of 20-year-olds, healthy 20-year-olds, hand me a leash and say, have fun walking my dog. They want the convenience because they're lazy. But I have plenty of people that hand me a leash for a dog and say, enjoy my dog, have a good walk. And then as you're walking the dog and getting dragged down the street, you know why they paid you to walk their dog. And that is where there's gold. And the gold is in the training opportunities to turn around, use some basic leash handling skills, use some basic marketing techniques, blend it in with the advertising opportunities that Wag provides you, and you can set yourself apart from not only any other Wag walker out there, but you might be able to garner some additional business on the side. Not as extra dog walking. I don't recommend that, and I don't do that. But the dog training, because when that customer gets that video and they see, wow, my dog never did that, and he can do that with you, you really stiffen up the customer's perception that this is a good quality company. And personally, I wish Wag would spend more time either hiring local trainers to help teach their new walkers how to do the job properly, or once they get their training program up and running, that eventually they'll have something like that. And if anybody from Wag is watching this, guys, try it. I'm just saying. I think you'll see better results. You'll see more loyalty out of the client, and you'll see less attrition of clients going, because clients. When I walk a dog, I'll walk a dog multiple times, and I may not be their preferred walker, but I go back to the same client over and over again because, when I've accepted that walk, I may have not been able to do it earlier, whatever the case may be. They'll always say the same thing. They'll always say two things. They'll say, one, my dogs love being with you much more than they love, unfortunately with the other walkers, and there's a little bias in that. It's because I know how to handle a dog and that I provide a positive walk experience for the dog. But two, I put miles on. That customer is paying me for my time. That's what I sell, time. I sell time and skill. And Wag sells time is really all they sell, and a specific service for that time. The skill set is really, in the eye of the beholder, but the client's eyes and their precious baby, that's a whole different perception. So, what I tell you guys, you want to make more coins? Spend the time walking. Get off the fucking cell phone and stop looking at your Facebook app. Focus on the walk. Focus on the dog, so the dog knows when you're paying attention and when you're not. Don't listen to music. And I know this sounds bad, but what it is doing is it's showing that, and you're demonstrating not only to the client, to the dog, and to everybody else. Remember, you're wearing a big old vest that says you're a dog walker and advertising you're a dog walker, that everybody else out there is looking at you. And if you have a dog that's out of control on a leash and you're wearing Wag Swag, that doesn't look good for the company or you. I mean, really, you're an independent contractor. This is your business, if you really think about it. You're 1099 or however that works, and you're your own business. So be the brand. Always be the brand. So those are some pieces of advice I can give you. All in all, if you're in a good market that WAG is really expanding and growing on, and it's not saturated with a bunch of walkers, you can do well. But at the same time, you can do well even if you just get 1 or 2 walks a day, or every time you try, maybe out of 10 tries, you get two accepted walks. But if you go there, you sell yourself, you sell the brand, and you sell your professionalism, that goes a long way. And if you just say, hey guys, look, I walk the dog a lot, I've proved to you what we can do. When I get back to the house and I give them back their baby, I also, recommend the card, and I say, my name's on there. Please select me as your preferred walker. And when they select me as the preferred walker, then before anybody else gets those leads, they give me a few seconds to decide whether I want to take that walk on again or not. And that all goes into your walk profile. Somehow, I don't know how it works, but some of the negatives is, if you're a walker and you have a problem and you call up WAG, you're not going to get a live being right away. But they've recognized your number, so they go ahead and they shoot back a message saying, hey, sorry, we're busy, we're on the other line, we'll call you right back. And they do. Or they deal with everything through the text on the phone. So I wish it would be when you pick up the phone, you got a human being. Doesn't always work that way. Let's see, any other negatives, drawbacks? I mean, pay is what it is, and it varies. I'm sure by market. Here, it's okay. For a half-hour walk, they'll pay X amount of dollars, and it's a pretty good part-time gig. But if you had multiple walks, it'd be a really, really good part-time gig. But if you're just still fighting for walks, then I say just keep on fighting it if you're really committed to trying to grow yourself. But once you show up to the property, or you show up to the home and you do these other things, and I go back to being the brand, being WAG and yourself, and asking to be the preferred walker, all of a sudden your schedule starts filling up with your kind of walks with the dogs you know. Now all of a sudden it's a lot easier, less stressful, and more that you can count on. Then that becomes a true win-win for everybody. It's a win-win for the WAG, for WAGs, for the company. It's a win-win for you, and it's a win-win for the client, because the client knows and trusts that the person handling their dog knows what they're doing and is going to take good care of them, and that it just re-emphasizes the fact that WAG is a good company and it's worth referring, which means eventually there's going to be more leads in the marketplace. And if you do it right, you give out your referral cards, you get some spiffs off of that. Look, it really can work for you, but you got to be willing to hustle it. So all in all, the WAGs experience has been a thumbs up for me. I would say on a scale, on a grading scale, it's not an A+. I'd probably give it a B. I think there's some things that they could do to make it better. I think there's some things that they should do, that the walkers should do to make their clients' walk experience better. And I hope that you do it. But, in the end, it depends on whether you want to get paid or not. Yeah, WAG's going to give you a flat rate. And then that customer is going to give you a rating based off the performance that you did. And if you did a shitty job, then your rating's not going to be 5 stars. I hate to tell you that. And, in the end, when it comes to more opportunities such as boarding and things like that, or long-term walks, I'm sure all of that comes into play. The software on the app is always has some hiccups, and that I think is just technology. But take the time to do what they ask you to do. Take your photos of your dog, wear your WAG swag, it's going to pay off. And then the last but not least is that sort of that report card that you file at the end. And at the end of the walk, and after you've closed out your ticket, you type up, you give some notes like, hey, where's the best parking? Where was the lockbox at? Where was this at? Where was that at? And all those notes, when you put it in there, really do help out. I mean, if this has been a long-term WAG client and you're basically typing the same information in as everybody else is, maybe it's not worth doing. But I always try to find one piece of information that I can add to value to help another walker.